Nancy Pelosi. She's officially retiring. Well, honestly, good. I do not like Nancy Pelosi. Basically, she is probably one of the most corrupt politicians ever. Very well known for making a fuck ton of money during in doing insider trading. So much so that there was like a trend on fucking TikTok, for fuck's sake, of people who follow Nancy Pelosi's stock positions, and there was like a set of people who would follow like that, follow basically what she was buying and selling like a hawk, and they were making fuck tons of money, basically doing everything possible. Basically, not everything possible, but copying every single one of Nancy Pelosi's moves. Classic sort of case of like insider trading, and was also a proponent of PAYGO. Now, for those who may not know, PAYGO is basically a provision within the House, if I recall correctly, saying that all sort of programs and all sort of like public services and goods have to be fiscally solvent. Why is this bad? Should be pretty fucking obvious. The main problem with shit like PAYGO specifically is the fact that not everything in public services and public goods should not have to be fucking fiscally solvent. It's about providing a service. If you have to levy extra taxes on the rich, the corporations to be able to pay for that, that's totally fine and okay. But it's essentially just like a way to stifle any form of progressive sort of like legislation by stipulating, well, how are you gonna pay for that? Well, how are you gonna pay for that? Because we all know about that like dumbass fucking meme with that all the centrists do consistently, where they're just like, well, how are you gonna pay for that? Well, how are you gonna fucking pay for that? It's like we already know how to pay for it, how to make it fucking fiscally solvent. You fucking losers. No, for these motherfuckers, it's just an excuse for them to just not do the fucking good policy, like say Medicare for all or the Green New Deal or all this other fucking bullshit that people want as like good general progressive legislation. Nancy Pelosi was a big advocate for PAYGO. She really liked PAYGO, and she's retiring now. The only other thing that I can say, I guess the positive about Nancy Pelosi is that she really hated Republicans. That's for certain. She would basically try to do anything possible to fuck over the Republicans about as much as possible within the House, and was generally pretty good at fucking playing politics. And here is Nancy Pelosi's replacement, Saikat Chakrabarti, who was AOC's, I believe, former chief of staff, I think, of AOC, I believe, and also worked with the Bernie campaign, I believe, as well. He's a good, solid Justice Democrat, progressive, would be squad member, yada, yada, yada. And he's currently running for Nancy Pelosi's seat. Well, we got a little bit of a video here, because so far he's just running alone in Nancy Pelosi's seat, similar to Kat Abugazela in that particular sense. People are expecting Scott Wiener to run for Nancy Pelosi's seat. I think he's gotten like preemptive endorsements from the California AG. At least that's what Boy Meets Minnie has told me. So he's gotten like some preemptive endorsements, and well, he's like a Scott Wiener's like basically a standard fare sort of Democrat, liberal Zionist, of course. So that not good in terms of the issue of fucking Israel. And it's one of those situations where it's just like, well, he's already got the endorsement before even wanting to run for Nancy Pelosi's fucking seat. So Saikat Chakrabarti still is, well, running on his own there for the time being, unopposed. So I don't know. If Scott Wiener decides not to hop in, great. We get Saikat Chakrabarti instead, and he just smooth sailing, which would be great. Another really good progressive uh, sort of legislator within the House. That'd be really good. I believe this is the article. Yeah, California Attorney General endorses Scott Wiener to succeed Pelosi. To succeed Pelosi. Okay, so he wants Scott Wiener to run for that. That's like a sort of nudge in the correct direction. But why don't we take a listen to Saikat over here?
Running for Congress against Nancy Pelosi here in San Francisco. My name's Saikat Chakrabarti, and I wanted to do a quick campaign update to tell y'all how things are going. I moved out to San Francisco in 2009, about a year after college, pretty much the first chance I got, because I've always been in love with the idea of the city. I've worked in progressive politics for the past decade or so. I worked on Bernie's 2016 campaign, and I started a group called Justice Democrats right after that, which recruited.
Oh, right, yeah, he's one of the founders of I completely forgot about it. It was what, it would have been him, Kyle Klinsky, and Cenk Uygur, right? Who would have founded fucking Justice Democrats. Well, we all know what's going on exactly in terms of that whole debacle, but yeah. He is an OG, like, progressive Democrat, like, left-leaning Democrat, who's always wanted to see progressive change. I mean, we already know pretty much what to expect in terms of the policies. Medicare for all, Green New Deal. I mean, a lot of those, the squad members that currently exist right now that have the endorsements of, well, either DSA or Justice Democrats, believe in all of these fucking policies. And, well, this man right here was probably one of the people who helped engineer a lot of those fucking programs. Wealth tax, a bunch of other fucking progressive legislation. There's a whole giant ass list.
Progressive candidates all across the country to run for Congress. One of the people we recruited was AOC, and I ended up running her campaign in 2018. And then I went and worked as her chief of staff in Congress, where I was in charge of writing and launching the Green New Deal. I'm running on things like universal health care and universal child care. I'm also running to end corruption in our government. We got to ban members of Congress from owning and trading stocks. We got to ban the revolving door.
I don't know how popular that's going to be in Nancy Pelosi's district, because that's definitely a dig on Nancy Pelosi specifically, which I agree with, right? It's a good dig, 1,000%. Like, Nancy Pelosi, she's known as the insider trader fucking Democrat gal, right? That's like one of her fucking things that people know her as. 1,000% I agree with that criticism. But the thing is like, Nancy Pelosi within the Democratic Party, I'm not sure how popular she is within her district. You can check on that for me, Boy Meets Minnie. But from what I know, that within the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi is very, very popular because of how she was basically playing politics when she became Speaker of the House again during the first Trump term, where she would basically just, I mean, she was just good at like playing politics, trying to like just mess with fucking with the Republican agenda while he was in power during his first term. I mean, that's part of the reason why he essentially became like a lame duck after the 2018 midterms, and the Democrats came back into the House during 2018. I think they still held the Senate, but without the House, not a lot of legislation is going to be able to be passed. So there's that, and that's like pretty much the main thing that's ingratiating a lot of Democrats to Nancy Pelosi's position. That's why they like her, generally speaking. Idiotic and silly that that's the case, but yeah, within the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi is well liked and will be fondly remembered. Which I fucking hate that shit, to be honest.
Door between Congress and the lobbying industry. And I'm also running to get rid of money in politics for real. We got to move towards a publicly financed campaign election system. I'm also running to tackle the extreme wealth and income inequality in our society. We got to make sure the rich pay their fair share of taxes. We've also got to invest in high-wage, high-value industries all across the country to make America the green global industrial powerhouse, to be a part of this green transition that's happening with or without us right now. Everything I just talked about there is...
That's a really good deal, by the way, because of the fact that China is currently lapping the United States of America in terms of windmill and solar fucking production, because of the fucking buffoon that's currently in power and the doddering old man who barely did anything to push for green fucking initiatives, that being Joe Biden, of course, because of a fucking stupid coal baron that he decided to fucking capitulate to for no reason. Is this the Pelosi approval rating bullshit? What is this? Half in Pelosi's district say they supported her, but time for a change poll. Okay, if I were to take a guess, they're probably just saying this because she's too old. Yeah, they want conversations around age and passing the torch to younger leaders in the party has become a consistent messaging this cycle. Yeah. It's because she's too old. That makes sense. Not because she's, like, unpopular, but just because people are saying, like, yeah, she's, like, 85. She should leave. Like, I think, like, not even that long ago, Trump was, like, doing a press conference talking about wanting to tariff foreign drugs again, and that's, like, a way to lower fucking drug costs. It's nonsensical, it's stupid, but some dude, some old ass fucking guy, like, literally collapsed in the middle of the fucking press conference, and, like, Trump just, like, kind of sat there and just didn't give much of a shit at all whatsoever. Like, it was just like, oh, that guy just kind of fell there, whatever, who cares? And he was, like, dozing off the whole time also in that press conference. Guys, I think there might be a problem with allowing the most powerful positions on the planet be run by a bunch of geriatrics. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's extremely popular all across the country. It all polls at above 50%. We just don't have the political will to make it happen. So I believe we need a movement of people to go into Congress, to take over the Democratic Party and completely change it and make this stuff actually get passed. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my campaign right now. I'm recruiting people to run all across the country, and I've already talked to dozens of people who are interested in joining this movement. And this campaign right now has incredible momentum. We've already raised over $100,000. I've got about 1,000 people who signed up to volunteer for this campaign. And I've talked to hundreds of people on these Zoom calls all across San Francisco. Because I'm taking no corporate or lobbyist money in this campaign. I'm spending all my days talking to voters in San Francisco instead of talking to corporations and big dollar donors. So go to the link in my bio and sign up for a Zoom call with me today, or sign up to volunteer on my website. We can win this thing, but it's going to take all of us.
I don't know what Saikat is polling at right now within San Francisco. I mean, he's currently the only guy that's running right there for now. At the very least, it's good to obviously challenge Pelosi. She is unfortunately very fucking popular, but she's retiring, right? Like, we know that she's going to be gone. So as far as I'm concerned, hopefully, like, he continues to run unopposed. I don't think that's going to happen. The Democrats will scrounge up someone eventually to run for Pelosi's seat that they can just have as, like, their main sort of guy, and then they'll just pump a bunch of money into it. But generally speaking, I do think it would be significantly better if Saikat Chakrabarti would be the main guy who wins Nancy Pelosi's seat, in comparison to, say, like, a Scott Wiener, who's just going to be, like, another fucking, like, corporate, yeah, maybe, like, slightly more progressive Democrat. He's not a NIMBY, so there's that, I guess. But he'd be another fucking, like, liberal Zionist fucking Democrat, and it's just like, ugh, another fucking do-nothing dipshit who's just going to be able to sit in his seat for, like, all of eternity because it's a seat from fucking San Francisco. Like, he's not gonna fucking leave any of that shit. But hopefully, and what I hope is that Saikat is the one who ends up winning, and you get another very, very solid, progressive and OG of Justice Democrats who gets to be put in that seat instead of another stupid fucking centrist shill in a deep blue district. But yeah, if you live in California, you live in San Francisco, you should support Saikat Chakrabarti, because he is definitely going to be significantly better than whatever fucking dumbass the Democrats decide to scrounge up to run for that seat. Don't think there's much else to say besides that.